as well, but inform them additional that they should their debt cross $100,000, that their bank account will automatically be frozen, meaning they will only be able to deposit money and not withdraw money from their bank accounts. Is there any questions?
Nope.
Hungry.
Just one thing about their accounts automatically being frozen. Once it gets below 100,000, it automatically gets unfrozen at the next tsunami. So they have to wait. So let's say a tsunami's just happened, and then they drop it below 100,000, then they still have to wait till the next tsunami before it'll be unfrozen. If that makes sense.
Wait,
that
I don't
makes
know
sense.
if I don't know if it's in the handbook or not, but can you still go to MRC and do dead checks if corrections are on?
Correct.
So how you go about that is you jump on the corrections radio, just say sheriff's to corrections, wait for someone to respond, and then ask how many inmates. If there's inmates, just ask if they have enough COs for you to do some debt
Why
checks.
is Odin out the window?
And then
I got
Odin's
that.
being Odin, alright?
and then you are free to if they say yep, that's fine, come on up, you're free to approach the MRC, go in. Obviously do not carry you won't carry on patrol, but you do not carry obviously any weaponry in there. And you obviously be respectful and courteous to the correctional staff.
If
Is there
they... Sorry. Just so you guys know, if they do attack you, you can tackle them and put them in cuffs if you need to. Usually, if there's a corrections officer around, allow them to put them in cuffs. You can tackle them, but then just walk away. It's all about, you have the right to defend yourself. If they're going to attack you, you can defend yourself by doing that. But yeah, that's all you can do. You cannot do any more than that. Okay?
No shooty bang bangs.
No, you can't put them in lockup. You can't do anything of the sort. You can't
Oh,
drag
man.
them. You can only just look.
Oh my god.
Odin!
Odin.
Is that
Odin wants to
father?
be Odin, so...
Hello.
So, you
Odin
were
is
legally
dead.
parked outside of the window 5 minutes ago.
Don't know what he's talking about.
I reckon that's a ticket. Moving on.
Yeah, parking
next.
ticket.
So there's no further questions about that slide, correct?
Correct.
Nope.
Correct.
Yeah. Yes. Do you want to do this one, Stephen?
Sure, I'll do it. That's over 100,000. Maximum time for payment plan, 6 weeks. Use your discretion. Wait, didn't we just do this one?
No, you did the one
No,
before.
this is under 100,000. This is over 100,000.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we did the under 100.
Give me a minute. Mouse is
These
all over the
muscles
place.
don't want to work properly.
Yeah. Oh, it's just one of those things. Did you want to jump in the call, Odin?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just jump in the call above in the whichever one you can, and then I'll give you the awaiting induction roll, and you can then jump in.
Whilst you're sorting that out, I'll take this slide.
Yeah, thanks.
Debt's over 100,000. Maximum time to pay for a debt of this size is 6 weeks. Discretion, being 100,000 in debt does not warrant 6-week payment plan,
Odin?
rather a 4 to 5,000.
Jump in.
Putting an impound request into impound request for the most expensive car. Advise them that the vehicle will be sold enforcement warrant if the payment plan is not completed. Any profit over the cost fine will be used as administration purposes. Add an entry to large debts. All debts over 100,000 must be noted in the channel via the thread. If you need help with that, there is a thread there that explains it all. The thread must include details pertaining to the interaction with the individual and is there to keep track of 5 debts. Debts over 400,000. Excessive debts need to be brought to a senior sheriff before payment plans can be approved. This will work with the direction of a suitable payment plan, which may include immediate application for a law enforcement warrant for the forfeit of some assets to get the amount owed reduced. Instruct the individual that due to the excessive nature of their outstanding fines, their case will be brought before a magistrate, sheriff, and a meeting of the sheriff, and a meeting at the sheriff station will be arranged to explain what senior will be required today. Further non-compliance may lead to being arrested at court date or a judge or a magistrate to serve prison time instead of paying the debt. There's the police report.
Oops, sorry, go back. Give me a sec. That's an example of the what you hand the individual when you impound their vehicle,
It's
and
called
also
evidence.
TBT as well.
I think.
Give me a sec. I'll read this one if that's right. Following up on registered debt. If the debt has been registered, we need to make sure we call the individuals to follow up on the payment or confirm that they are refusing to pay. Check the call logs channel to make sure that we have not already made contact with them recently and call their number, I mean. When calling, if they do not pick up, use the bot command !, call first name, last name, NA for not available. If they do pick up, introduce yourself as follows. Hi, their name, I am your name, from Victorian Justice Department Sheriff's Office. I am calling in regards to your outstanding debts to the state. Is now a good time to talk? You will then ask them to come down to the Sheriff's Office on Innocence Boulevard, right next to the courthouse, so where we are now, so that they can confirm payment of their debts or arrange a payment plan. They must attend before we clear their debts. Inform them that repeated failure to attend will result in further legal action. There's an example warrant. The one I gave you has a bit more stuff added to it, just because it's a better warrant. It's like got questions, and if you're out with someone else, you can then put in who you were out with as well. If an attempt at a traffic stop, code 4, and the individual decides to evade, you'll need to write a warrant for VicPol so they can be detained for debt recovery purposes. See underneath for a warrant template. See to the right for an example warrant. Please note the details of who, what, where, and why. Those are very important. Do not forget to provide details of the vehicle that has evaded you. An ID confirmed warrant is only for when they have shown you their ID. Anything else is an ID unconfirmed. So even if you know that person, you might know that person. If they have not given you their ID, it is unconfirmed. Okay? Doesn't matter how well you know them.
Yeah.
Like, let's say, for example, James. I know James reasonably well. If I, let's say for some miracle, pulled him over on the side of the road, he didn't show me his ID, then I'd have to stick in an ID unconfirmed warrant. Same with Odin, you know. Just because I know him very well doesn't mean that it's an ID confirmed.
Yeah.
I'm the most innocent and truthful person in this room.
Bullshit.
Who was that? Who was giggling? Who was playing?
Basically, if it's not,
We didn't stop being
if they don't show your ID, you don't know them from a bar or so.
We might just skip over the...
I
we'll just
eat
read
soap.
there. You know,
What if
won't
what
read
if
the
I
actual
smell the
portion.
air and know their name?
So you're not coming. Odin. Odin.
Do I know you?
Odin.
What is your name?
Odin.
Yeah,
Come back up here and behave, please.
but I gotta.
No, because I don't. I
He's just
don't want
introducing himself. Hello, man.
don't think
Sorry, you're gonna
anyone
get in
wants to
trouble.
be here for 2 hours.
Oh,
Get up here.
I definitely come to you again later to introduce myself. It's
I
necessary.
don't want to be here for 2 hours.
With Riz.
I'm sorry. Continue.
Odin.
Joint activities with Big Pearl. Hearing unit. It's a sheriff looking to go on duty. should approach a VicPol officer asking them if they do not mind doing a pair patrol. The two units, VicPol and Sheriff, will be in their own cars following each other on their patrols, providing multiple assistance where appropriate. For traffic stop, speed compliance activities, other VicPol activities, sheriffs will simply attend the scene and assist the police if required. During this stop, the sheriff can run the identification of any individual and check the plates of the car to see if there are any outstanding fines. If there is fines, the VicPol or sheriff officer may conduct an arrest whilst payment of these fines is negotiable. Any questions on that one? No?
Nope. Nope.
RBT
Chicken burger.
safety and fine enforcement checkpoints. VicPol officers and sheriff officers can set up a stationary checkpoint requiring vehicle to pull over into an inspection area. VicPol officers will use. Give me a minute, see if we can take over. Please.
Okay, yep. VicPol officers will use the situations to conduct road breathing tests. I don't know why it says breathing, it should be breath. But anyway, vehicle safety inspections or license compliance, while the sheriff office will check individuals for outstanding fines. Combine radar traps and fine enforcement stops. This involves a sheriff unit being stationed on a heavily travelled road with a highway officer further down the road from them. The sheriff officer will be using the ANPR to detect unpaid fines on passing vehicles, while the highway officer is using a radar to check for speed infringements. If a sheriff detects someone with unpaid fines, they call the highway officer, who can conduct a traffic stop while the sheriff catches up. Well, with the ANPR at the moment, good luck. That's all I'm going to say. Good luck.
What do you mean?
Just a reminder, everyone
It's
goes like
broken.
270 on a drag car now.
Yeah, that's not the reason though. The ANPR, it's kind of broken at the moment.
Don't you use a new AMPL?
Yep, it's kind
What's
of broken.
the radar doing for you guys, Stephen?
Sometimes it will pick up that the vehicle in front of you has debt when it doesn't.
Still doing that. Yeah, Roger.
So
And-
it's just a bit funky. Like
And
Yeah,
it will
do
sometimes say unknown in regards to everything but one thing. I can't remember what it was, but yeah, basically useless.
I'll have a chat to the engineers and see if they're going to fix that or if it's a part of the system.
Yeah, so what we're doing at the moment is just random, random checks. So if you see someone on the road, pull them over, give them a random debt check, and then continue on.
Good old RDT.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
Wouldn't it
and
be
that-
RDC?
Yeah, I don't know why I said T. RDC, yeah.
Yeah. That's come from Titus, apparently, and I heard that from Jack, who told me that Titus told him that. And so, yeah, I'm passing that information on as I go. So, yeah, you can do random stops, because, like, still have the ANPR on, but you can't really trust it. So, other sheriff duties. Criminal record searches. Individuals and businesses can request a criminal record search on either themselves or prospective employees. For this to occur, they will need to come down to the station, and if the search is not for themselves, they will need to either have the person there to give permission or have a signed document granting permission. This is just a simple MDT search where you will copy all the charges that they have had and send them to an email address of their choice. There is a fee involved which you will take from the individuals prior, in other words before the lookup. So prior to the records lookup, registered businesses are able to create a tab in their respective channels after receiving the payment from each search. You keep what you were given for the checks that you have completed. So if it's the Office of Legal Representation, they have to pay $250 for us to do a search. An individual, so random person off the street, decides they want a check done on them, it's $500.
What is IBAC?
IBAC, I can't remember exactly what it stands for, but it's if someone's corrupt.
Copy. Like IA. Internal Affairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Basically,
OPP's Officer.
Office of Public
pros-
Prosecution.
Yeah, that one. I don't even know. how to-
Office of Public Prosecution, correct? Yeah.
Yeah, those words don't work in my head.
So, let's say Slow Life wanted a check on their employees. It's $1,000 per employee. This includes lawyers representing a client. Okay, so $1,000 each. So obviously, courts, government agencies, AV, CFA, VicPol, DPS, IBAC, or OPP, all have. No one has to pay. It's all free.
That's expensive.
I know. Very. You back, James?
Just got back. Literally just got back.
Yeah.
Not good enough.
Shut up, you. A note on financial record. Whilst we do not collect private debt, a business may request you to check a person's financial records to see if they owe the business any money unpaid invoices. This will cost the business $750 per person. We look you up, and we will send you the only unpaid invoices that the company invoices to that company. Do not provide information on any other money being owed. If no money owed to the business fee is non-refundable, you will inform the business there is no money outstanding towards them. Remind the business that we cannot follow up on their debts for them. They will need to begin their own debt recovery process, advising that they can submit a court application for due force payment, including having assets sold to pay for the debt, or secure the return of a product such as a car. Is there any questions?
So to clarify, any payments that are made for lookups, we keep it? Is that
Yes, correct.
right? Okay.
Yes,
Take it as a tip.
pretty much.
Even if
It's a lot.
so, you keep it even if the debt comes back. Even if it
There's
comes back with
no-
nothing.
Yeah, got you.
Yep.
Easy, thank you.
No, all good. It's worth it for some people, not me. I've got that much money. I don't know what to do with it all.
Yeah, come
No.
share.
I'll take some off your hands.
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
feel free to
right.
share.
Yeah, sharing's caring.
I'll take
Get in the
$2.50
Vic
so I can get a coffee.
I'll give
Who
you
wants money?
$2.
Actually, no, never mind. Sorry, my money's reserved for the girls at VU. Sorry, guys. Disregard.
Valid,
I
valid.
actually work at VU. So.
Do you? I knew I
you're
still
getting
should
voted.
be
that's,
Okay.
why,
Okay.
that's why Odin went over there earlier.
Yeah,
Okay.
now it makes
Literally.
sense. What did-
Odin,
I
heal.
haven't worked there in a
Down,
while,
boy.
to be fair.
Down.
You're not
Yeah.
making numbers.
This is not the time or the place, Odin. I'm afraid to break
We're
it
at
to
VU
you.
later, it's
These
fine.
are
Get busy
handcuffs that
later.
Odin
Like-
I know you like the girls, but yeah.
No, those are the
That's a
handcuffs that
bit too
Odin
much.
doesn't like to see.
Yeah, Odin
Yeah.
likes the pink fluffy ones. Remember
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Purple, thank you.
I
Oh,
was
sorry,
gonna say
purple
guy.
probably
It's the
purple
same
more than
thing.
pink.
Yeah.
Alright, next slide.
Same thing with
Oh.
Starfield.
Back to business. Professionalism,
Progressing to
people.
Vic Power.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Every time you Odin can
Look,
be
he's
professional.
talking.
bloody Odin.
You damn right.
I've never seen
You
a
will need to be an
professional
active member of both departments, which I believe is changing, Stephen. I'm not entirely sure.
I'm not
In order to
100% sure.
progress through to VicPol, this includes going on 2 ups with FTOs in order to learn and show off your skills. If you join this department and are active without being ticked off a period of time, please let it be known in the channels that you are
Sir, that's on-
2 ups with
that's
FTO
on-
and
Odin.
one will be likely to be arranged. Odin.
Odin.
That's unlawful.
Oh, is this one of your recruits?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's consensual.
Slightly.
Yeah, but
It is.
Is there any questions? Is there any questions about this?
Nope.
Moving on.
so that's the end of that one.
Yes. So that's it for that one. You're currently ready to go out on patrol. However, we're going to do your courts ones now, so you don't have to do that later. Uniforms for the courts. We already sorted that out. Perfect. Oh, hold on. Department of Justice Sheriff Handbook, 2023 Court Edition. You've already read that before too. That's your uniform. In court sheriff station. On the second floor of the courthouse, the sheriff office has access to the designated area for the holding of the prisoner pre-trial and custody of guilty individuals until the correctional services arrive. Additionally, we have a security room equipped with surveillance cameras, which don't actually work at the moment.
Yeah, it's more that way you can use your body cam as proof in the court. So, let's say something happens in court, you can then use your body cam, even though you won't physically have one on you. You can still
And
technically
But it
use it.
came from the
Yeah, it came from the
CCTV. Yeah.
CCTV.
Should we be running body cam pretty much most of the time?
If you can, yes.
If you can.
So,
And also,
Unless you're with me.
yeah,
not a good idea to run
no
body
body cams are allowed around you.
Oh,
If anyone like has that issue where they don't like how their body cam's running 24/7 and it likes to cook,
But
let me know. I figured out a way that makes it a
outside.
lot easier
Yeah.
because the metal body cams are not working properly.
You can also use
Call it a
OBS
video.
to do the
Yeah,
same
that's what
thing.
I've got. I got it set up to where if I tap my body cam and it will start recording. So I do it when I go into a traffic
You
stop.
can also have it that way. It's technically always recording, but it saves it to volatile memory.
Ah.
I can show you how to do that later. I figured it out.
Video body
Basically, it saves it to
'Cause it
volatile
sucks.
memory, but then when you can change how long the time is, and then
Ah.
what you do is when you save it, it will record that to
like 5 minutes or whatever.
yeah. So
Set it
the
to
last
certain
5
time.
minutes, it will then save that to non-volatile storage.
So no vest and Sheriff 900, please.
Sorry.
Story of my life.
just talking about Odin.
Oh, vest.
Ah.
Yeah.
All right. Is there any other questions about that in body cam and stuff like that?
No.
Court rules. Sheriff office is responsible for the management of court-related security, ensuring the courts is safe and secure for everyone involved. To do your job properly, we are given several rights jobs. Sheriff officers assigned to the court duties are allowed to carry weapons. Or more in the courtroom. See the slide for more in the courtroom. Sheriff officers may arrest someone in violation of the court rules due to a security risk to the court. Sheriff officers may search individuals as conducted of the courtroom. Sheriff officers may evict, evict or deny entry to the courtroom for any individual for any reason. Sheriff officers will issue any charges and sentences on the behalf of the judge or magistrate. Sheriff officers will ensure that everyone remains in their allocated areas during the proceedings. Any questions?
No questions, just a comment. She real cute. What the hell?
So am I,
Who
but
is that?
look.
I actually
I
don't
wonder
know
who that is.
That might be Stephen.
What?
Yeah, that.
Yeah,
No, that
it's
might
a
actually
lady
be
then.
Odin.
Yeah, it's definitely Odin.
Oh, beautiful blonde locks. Is that right? Anyway, sorry, continue.
What did I miss? What did I miss?
Moving on, Stephen.
Seb, the person in the photo. Okay, never
Her
mind.
hair looks like
Oh,
yours.
that's
Different color.
I'm
Wait,
not
I'm so
exactly
confused.
sure who that is.
What about her?
The person, she's real cute. The person in the photo is real cute. That was
Yeah, I don't know who that
Your
is.
hair's cute too.
Oh, thank you. So are you.
Thank you.
Why did I want to go
Riz.
back? Anyway.
Court security. We guard the front entrance, the metal detectors, in order to search relevant person enter to the courtroom. There is other entrance exits on the opposite side, also equipped with a metal detector. Individuals entering the courtroom are to be ID'd and then check any active criminal warrants, unless an exemption applies, which is in detail in the other slide. They are also to be fully searched. No weapons or articles of dangerous are to be allowed in the court, includes big pole weapons. The sheriff office has the final say in the situation. If individuals are non-compliant, they will be refused entry and asked to leave. Given a written F10 document to move, notice. Move on notice is required. If they do not leave, detain them, contact a higher-ranking sheriff officer or the presiding officer who was likely to take further action against the individual. At the end of the day, sheriff office and office of the court property is the junction. You just, I can never say that word. Someone,
Where?
English.
What?
last line.
He's in my presence. He wouldn't be
judicial-
able to speak.
judicial-
Jurisdiction.
Jurisdiction.
Thank you.
Actually,
Of
he's
the-
in my presence.
Jurisdiction?
of the sheriff office will be protected by us at all times. Sorry about that mess up of the word.
It's okay. I'm the statistic.
Yes, sir. Moving on.
Aiden, put that away, please. Thank you.
Yeah, do as you're told.
Moving on.
Good boy.
Is there any questions about court security?
Nope.
Who just called me a good boy?
Don't know.
Hmm.
Oh, sorry. Trying to keep up with everything.
I'll deal with you later.
Okay.
You want to pay this one, Stephen?
Yeah, I'll take it.
What's that supposed to mean?
Where are people allowed in court? Court officials are judges, magistrates, clerks of the court, and sheriff officers. They are permitted in all areas of the court, and in the case of judges, magistrates, and sheriffs, they are not to be searched or impeded in their duties. Approval needed. The well and the bench are sacred areas. Entry to these areas is only to occur if the presiding judicial officer permits or requests it. Otherwise, a sheriff officer should prevent people from entering these areas. Jury. Only the appointed jury may enter the jury box. Nobody else. If you see anyone else in there, get them out. Public. The gallery is open to all members of the public. No member of the public may enter without being vet. See next page for the image of the courtroom. Also, just so you know, we have full authority over VicPol in the courthouse. VicPol have absolutely no authority. Okay? If VicPol come in there trying to tell you what to do, you can ignore them. Yeah. VicPol have no authority.
Clarify. Is it Melpol now or VicPol?
Well,
Yeah,
Melpol.
Melpol.
I just call it
Okay.
VicPol because I'm old school.
Yep. Just old.
Oath and affirmation. Before providing evidence or a testimony in the magistrate's court, individual must recite either an oath or an affirmation that informs that they will provide to the court the truth to be truth. Oath. I swear by Almighty God or the person's name of God you recognize by his or her religion, in the evidence I shall give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Affirmation. I solemnly swear and declare that affirm the evidence that I shall give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Members of the police take an oath upon commencing their duties, not required an affirmation or an oath, unless they have prior incidents that could cast reasonable doubt upon their character, such as false statements or an IVAC report. Any questions?
Odin.
Yeah.
Are we there yet?
Almost.
No.
Hold on, champ.
Um,
Not that far.
we won't read the caution. They can do that in their own time. But
Perfect.
we'll do the stuff around it, if you know what I mean.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I swear I've read this. No, maybe not. Courtroom security. Once a sheriff officer, also known as the bailiff, must always be in the well to assist the presiding official and to ensure that nobody enters without authorization. The sheriff officer available should stand in the public gallery to ensure that everyone is searched before seating them to the correct location. Additionally, the sheriff officer standing in the lobby to provide searches in the first line of defense. In the hallway patrol perimeter of the building in that order. At no time should the presiding official not have the sheriff officer with them. However, do not invade their space, their privacy by always sticking around them. If they are in their chambers, stay posted outside. Additionally, sheriff officers will be assigned if as needed. Is there any questions?
Yeah.
Nope.
Mr. Bean, can you please get off your phone?
Sorry.
Also, one thing, it's usually the bailiff that sticks with the magistrate at all times. Just for safety reasons, it's easier for them to stick with them. And they can also then get the charges, because usually the magistrate will give them the charges before anyone else. And they'll do that in their chambers. You can ask if you can enter, but don't just enter.
And stay clear of Odin's chambers too. They're scary.
Odin doesn't have any.
Different type of
He's
chamber. We'll
banned
talk about
from
that
No,
later.
the
you
courtroom.
know.
Well, yeah. Not here, anyway. I can promise you
Exactly.
that.
I'm like the international man of mystery, like Austin Powers, but Odin.
Anyway,
Odin Powers.
Oh,
Yeah.
everyone
all
really
said
jumped on
that.
That was great.
Yep.
Brilliant. God, we're so
I'm-
in sync. I love this.
Dr.
lawyers. Lawyers are only to be searched on entry, as are their clients. Lawyers are to be searched on entry, as are their clients. Lawyers and both parties will wait in the public gallery until the presiding official calls them into the well. No one, including lawyers, are to approach the bench without approval from the court official. If a lawyer or one of the parties is violating court rules, before evicting them, you must notify the presiding official and ask how they would like to proceed. Lawyers and their clients are to be treated with respect. However, remember that they are still members of the public and need to comply with the courthouse rules. If a lawyer fails to show proper respect to the court or to you, notify the presiding official immediately. Lawyers and their clients are also required to follow proper dress code when appearing in the courtroom, just like the general public. Please ensure that lawyers are registered for DCV cases. So you can't just have a lawyer come off the street for DCV. MCV, yes. DCV, no.
Yeah.
Also, if someone spits at you or
Oh.
hits
Hold
you
on, I heard
or
someone spit at me. What?
I don't know,
That's
makes fun of you or calls you names, let the presiding official know, and chances are they're going to end up with either, if it's the person getting charged, they'll end up with more charges, or if it's not someone getting charged, they'll end up with charges. Okay?
I have a question.
Contempt.
Yep.
What if the person spitting isn't really spitting, but giving the hock look?
okay.
Same deal.
Then you send them to me, and I will deal with them as within compliance and law of our standard operating procedures of Melbourne Police and safety and security of Melbourne's.
Be dealt with accordingly, right?
100%.
Yeah.
So yeah, just basically, if they're doing that sort of stuff, if they're like interrupting the court, etc., even if the magistrate can't hear it, but you can, and they're interrupting people, or talking loud, well, just talking in general while the court is in session. Let the magistrate know, and they'll be told to be quiet. And if they don't, well, yeah. You can guarantee that they will get a charge, especially if it's Orson on duty.
God love Orson.
You do not mess with Orson.
I love Orson.
Ooh.
He's my boss.
You'll know about it if you do.
He'll
Alright.
beat you.
Yeah.
He'll
Speaking
beat you
from
with the book of
experience.
laws.
No comment.
Lawyers continued. If a registered lawyer / law student with either office wishes to speak to a client in private without there being a court case, they are allowed to use the offices at the bottom of the courthouse. on either side in the lobby. A sheriff officer has to be present, must also be outside the room, may also be outside the room for privacy reasons, to let the lawyer and client in and out and to vet them. And the client, vet the lawyer and the client before letting them in. But give them respect and privacy once they're all clear. Okay? You back from your head?
Yeah, I've been here the whole time.
Oh, okay.
You want me to do this one?
Yeah, go for it.
General public, all members of the general public, including lawyers who are not currently representing, members of the police force who are not presiding, prosecuting, any of the court officials and judicial officials are not involved in the current case. Members of the public gallery only.
Guys, stay in here for us, yeah? Don't come out.
Yep.
Oh no.
That's great.
What is Odin doing?
All members of the public
No, it's
are
not Odin, it's someone else.
be searched upon prior to entering the courtroom. Refusal will see them evicted from the premises as all cases are public. Recording photos with phones or cameras are allowed in the magistrate's court. However, no recording of any kind is permitted in the DCB or Supreme Court without approval from the judge presiding. You are not to hold any of these items for
Jesus.
anyone, including members of the public, EMS. They are not permitted items always allowed. Sorry, all this stuff sounds. Always before being allowed to access the court. People entering the courtroom for the DCB must be dressed appropriately. Fully enclosed shoes, no shorts. Shirts with sleeves, at least the elbows, no shirts that do not cover all skin. The neck to the waist are not permitted. No headwear, no sunglasses, no nasal or lip piercings, and no cuts, motorcycle, club vests, or gang affiliation clothing, including pocket rags. Casual wear is permitted in the MCV with reason the sheriff presiding official document. This means no cuts or gang affiliated clothing, including pocket rags. Yes, sir.
Should I have my job role by now? I was a little bit concerned.
You should, but
Yeah.
you know, if you
We
don't,
all
we'll sort.
should.
I'll
You guys
put
should
another
have it.
request in.
I think the police are busy.
Can't fix my belt.
As you can see outside, you won't be able to fix your belt until you get in.
You're 144. 144.
144. Yeah.
As you can see outside, there's a lot of police stuff going on. So
Yeah, I'm a little bit concerned.
might be
Yeah, I'm
able
worried
to
as well.
Any questions about that slide about like clothing restrictions stuff like that?
No.
It's pretty self-explanatory.
Oh fuck.
What's
All
going
good?
on?
So sorry. There's been a call here. So sorry.
What
We'll
happened?
be
No, it's all good.
Don't worry,
Don't worry.
everybody, stay calm. Daddy Odin is here to save the
Yes,
day,
Odin.
right?
Please
Yeah.
So
Ocean.
you all stay here, and I'll make sure I take care of it.
Thank you, Odin, Daddy.
You feeling better from before?
my head still hurts.
Oh, that's not good. She had a little fall, just a little one, just a few stories,
That's,
Jesus.
yeah, unfortunate.
just a few,
That's nothing.
At least it
I'm
wasn't
so-
out of a HIMS helicopter.
just a
So
few.
no questions for that.
No.
Negative.
Perfect. There you go.
Whoa. Who said negative? Who's negative?
Me.
When Stevens
so
ready
proud.
to move the slide.
Oh, sorry.
Odin, that's what.
So,
Now I'm not going to read you this caution, but if you were the bailiff of the court case, that is the caution you were to read to them.
just read that top
when-
and
When you take custody of the defendant from Melbourne Police, please inform them in a clear and something this of the following. It does not need to be word for word, but it must cover the same information. I'll let you guys read that in your own time. Is there any questions about the oath?
No.
Okay. Moving on.
also, just so you know, we as sheriffs must also, if the court case is happening, we call the magistrate sir or madame at all times, and
No, Your Honor?
or your honor, yes,
Yeah, you're honest.
Or your magistrate?
no, your honor or sir, madame at all times. That's it.
Just, has anyone in here been to court out of city?
No,
It's not fun. It's very
Um,
scary.
if
Say no.
before a judge, you must refer to them as your honor or worship, or
worship
your
is your honor.
lordship.
Your lordship.
Yeah.
Someone will call me my queen. That's crazy.
Your Royal
Ah.
Hiney.
I bet you Odin does.
If the individual is wearing anything on their head or obscuring their face, you will need to remove the hat, mask, accessory, etc. Okay? Just so you guys know. Okay?
Gotcha.
Anyway, continue. Sorry.
Courtroom codes and phases. Code blue. Police requiring assistance non-involving sheriffs to contact police immediately. Code red. Ambulance requiring assistance. Assistance required, sorry. Non-involving sheriff to contact AV immediately. Code orange. CFA. Same thing. CFA. Code white.
Might want to get
Evacuation everyone from the building as soon as possible. Make sure to explain why. Code amber. Potential security risk. Make sure the VIP security. And additions. Lockdown. This is what everyone's favourite thing. Ensure nobody enters the area of the courtroom. Tasers and firearms may be drawn in preparation at all time. Any VIP should be moved into the chambers halls, including the jury. Once this is done, the public should be moved into the jury box, etc., etc. A firearm is spotted at my location, or sheriffs to either assist or lock down. Code U. Can't see that because the stream's blurry. Unruly individual here requiring assistance to be used. Then earshot. Remove, sorry. Code A. Detain one individual here, please notify police. Code B. Banned individual here, please send assistance. Any questions?
Oh,
That
I did
was-
not mean to do
Why did I
that.
just get punched in the head?
Hey, Odin.
Jesus Christ.
enough, Odin.
He just assaulted a
Please
female.
He
keep
was
reading.
protecting me.
Yes, but he
Thank you.
still doesn't have a right to use his taser in here on us.
I most
That was
certainly
a
do
muscle
when
spasm.
when he
I give
assaulted
it
a...
He'll end up
Yes,
getting the
yeah.
taser permissions removed from Victor.
I give him permission, it's fine.
It was a
Uh,
muscle
Any questions?
spasm.
No?
Nope.
Moving on.
Okay.
Stephen, it's you.
Yeah, I am.
Dealing with a pre-trial prisoner. This is everyone's favourite activity.
Mm,
When the police bring an individual into the courtroom, they surrender their custody to the sheriff officer, note the name of the individual, ask if there is anything they should know about the prisoner. Make sure to search the prisoner regardless of whether the police have been searched. For the MCV, the prisoner is not to change clothes even if they normally they would violate the rules. Take the prisoner either to the defense. Hello.
Oh,
Hey.
hello.
Who
Hello.
is that?
That's a lot of stripes.
That's a very high person.
That's a
Yeah.
special
Hello, you
constable.
good-looking man.
That's
Haven't
a
seen you in a
special
while.
constable.
Thank you. Is everything all good in here?
yeah,
Yeah,
just
what
do
you
an
got?
induction.
Just,
I
I got
just so you know.
Paul there to do a heat sweep of the area, mate. Didn't notify any POIs, VOIs, so it looks pretty clear, but never know for later on. We'll see how it
Odin's
goes.
Need some
supervising
help
us,
from
I
God,
guess
but-
you could say.
Easy. Well, I'll leave you
Yeah,
to it
just
then.
need some gov.
Good to see you,
anyway.
Ross, mate.
Take the prisoner to the defense desk if the case shows is to, sorry, if there is case is up now, or hold them in the hall until the case is ready. After the case, the individual is not to be in prison. Take them at the front of the courthouse and release them. Alternately, take them into the hall for transport if they've been arrested. Ensure the charges that have been found guilty on are applied properly. To leave them with the courtroom. Correction is to be contacted. I believe that's not a thing anymore because we transport.
No. Corrections
No.
still should be
Yeah, they do.
contacted.
They do.
No, so if corrections are available, contact them for transport. If not, transfer.
It's only if they're not available. Like,
Yeah.
if you can check the corrections list and see there's no
Yeah.
one on, you don't need to get on radio.
If the inmate is a high-profile or dangerous individual, a VicPol escort will be required. If there is not enough police officers on duty, VicPol will take the individual to the MRC without sheriff's assistance. I believe that is a little bit different now too because of the trained sheriffs too. Correct?
Not that I've heard.
Okay.
But
In either case, should the police retake custody of the individual unless the sheriff officers are available, in which case ensure the charges are applied properly, then hand them over to the police. Is there any questions?
Negative.
Anything on?
I can read this one. Escorting. What was that?
Here you go. No, you go. Sir.
Escorting magistrates. When escorting a magistrate to the MRC or Bolingbroke Penitentiary, there are a few things to keep in mind. No lethal weapons, very important, such as your Smith & Wesson 40 or taser should be on you while inside the prison yard, as to make sure that no inmates are able to attempt to grab the firearms. While in the prison yard, you are only allowed to have your baton on you while you are escorting the magistrate.
Why do you have a med bag?
You are a sheriff, not a corrections officer, to which your job is not to watch over inmates. Your job is to make sure that the magistrate is safe at all times. You are not to tase or hit inmates unless they are attacking you or the magistrate. When responding from the station to the MRC while on an escort with the chief magistrate or judge, you are to drive as normal as you would everyday patrols, following all road rules unless instructed to by the chief magistrate or the judge to respond priority 1. They're the only ones who can give you authority to respond priority 1. And also the sheriff himself. If he tells you to go somewhere priority 1, you go there priority 1. Okay? Because then it will fall back on him, not you. Do you want to read? Or you want me to read?
You can take this one.
Okay. Dealing with police. Unless assisting with courtroom security, the sheriff or judge will notify you prior. This is during DCV cases. They can assist or responding to a crime / call for assistance from court personnel, not the public. Keyword there. Not the public. Even if public put in a call, police are not to respond. Police must abide by these guidelines. Formal uniform must be worn. No hats and vests. If off duty, they must be treated as a normal member of the public. No firearms whatsoever unless assisting with security. Exemptions are to be made only by the judge. No blunt weapons, flashlights or tasers unless presiding official says otherwise. Police are not to be hindered or search an on-duty court official on court property. That includes us, okay, as sheriffs. They cannot search us at any time. Okay? Or obstruct us. Okay? If they do, then they're going to end up in trouble. You are not to hold anything for Vicpol. They are to put it away first. Always be polite when dealing with the police. However, their powers are limited in the courthouse compared to yours. If the presiding official instructs for them to be detained and charged with contempt or removed from the courtroom, you will need to enforce that rule upon them. Be professional and polite if this occurs both during and after the event. If they continue, arrest them and have them seen before the presiding official. Send the Sheriff of Victoria, so Titus, a message to state who they are and why they have been charged. Okay? Very important that you send him a message. Do you want to read? Or you want me to keep going?
You do this one. I'll do the next one. I'll do the next one.
Sorry?
You do this one. I'll do the next one.
Yep, no worries. Court threat levels. You may have noticed we have a court threat level channel in the emails. The sheriff or deputy sheriff are the only ones who can adjust the threat level. Based on the threat level, different policies may come into effect. These can be found here and only apply to court duty. So threat level 0, 2 sheriff officers minimum are required for MCV or DCV to be open. Sheriff officers are not to wear vests inside the courtroom. Equipment available is the pistol, taser, and baton. Threat level 2, MCV must have... Oops, I'm skipping one. Threat level 0, MCV must have at least 2 sheriff officers before opening. DCV must have 3 sheriff officers before opening. Vests must be worn at all times. Sheriff officers may refuse entry to people for minor suspicions. Equipment is same as threat level 0. MCV must have 3 sheriff officers before opening, 4 recommended. DCV must have 4 sheriff officers before opening, all police assistants. Vests must be worn. Sheriff officers may refuse entry for any reason. Sheriff officers may carry beanbag guns when requested by the sheriff. So that's any sheriff officer. MCV must have, so threat level 3. MCV must have 3 sheriff officers before opening, 4 recommended. For obvious reasons. I would personally have said 4 is minimum, but whatever. DCV must have 4 sheriff officers before opening, or police assistants. Judge must be escorted, 6 officers recommended. Vests must be worn. Sheriff officers may refuse entry for any reason. Sheriff officers may carry beanbag shotguns, no approval needed. Sheriff officer, the sheriff may assign some officers to swap this for lethal 2-handers. Yeah, so when it says any reason, it's not, oh, I don't like you. That's not a good enough reason, okay?
Any reason of suspicion.
Yes. If you think, you know, if anything, even the slightest thing has given you pause to think, oh, I don't know if this person can be trusted, then yes, that's reasonable suspicion. Well, to a certain degree. You know, if they say something or do something that gives you a bit of pause, that's good enough to refuse an entry. Okay? That clear?
Yeah.
Cool.
Giving a suspect charges. Once the case is concluded, the presiding officer is handed down their sentence. Make sure you're paying attention and jot down on the paper. This may include charging the defendant or sentencing the presiding officer issues. Note some charges may come with a sentence called an indictable charge. The presiding officer will inform you of the length final of the sentence. I'll read it step by step. Open your 6 minutes, go to the offender process in image 1, and automatically issue the apply to vending history. Choose violated inventory. Image 2. All indictable charges are required to have DNA suspect taken and placed on file, even if it's already on file. So you'll be able to draw an evidence bag from the safe, and you use that. You just use that and you pull the hair strand out. An indictable charge is marked with an orange circle. Sorry, image 3. I don't believe. Not sure if they're still orange circles.
Yeah, they are.
They are? Okay, perfect. Indictable charge by an orange dot next to them, meaning they carry a jail sentence. Any questions about that? Sorry.
No.
Moving on.
Negative.
And that's it.
Yeah, we're done. Holy,
No.
I'm falling asleep.
Yes, it's a very lengthy
Yeah.
induction.
My Melrose induction was like 5 minutes.
I read both documents last night. I didn't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
Kidding, sorry.
very
So
long.
What you will carry on your day-to-day patrols is already in the handbook. So once you're ready to go on a patrol,
Other
you grab
than
your
the
stuff
taser.
out. Taser. You grab your stuff out and you just speak to an FTO or go out by yourself. And yeah, welcome to the sheriff department.
Let's get you your gear.
Come on through, we'll get your gear.
Sorry, Monster.